I'm going to share my screen to you, Jeexx.
Oh
And
no.
we are gonna be making a tier list about
League of Legends
League of
always updated.
Legends characters.
Dude,
Yippee!
there's too many of them.
166 to be exact.
Seven.
This one I think has the old Teemo still. Cause I got tired of
Two
them
Teemo.
never did I remove it? Them
There's
never,
Teemo
yeah,
right there.
there's an additional Teemo. Them never updating the templates on tier maker, so I was just like, fuck it,
Fuck it.
I'll do it myself. So
Hell yeah.
that's also why some of these, because the database that I use for the icons at some point, for whatever reason, started making them blurrier, but that is whatever. Anyways, obviously this would
Yippee.
take really long if we actually did this with a lot of thought and stuff like that, so we're not gonna do that. We can
Okay.
give pretty minimal reasonings, but uh, the only thing, so this is gonna be an average from us both. This is literally gonna be our tier list now.
Okay. Okay. I see.
So that's gonna be where we get some fun discussion going, and additionally, both get a single veto. The only rule for a veto is that you can't veto your, I was gonna say opponents, the other person's veto, but it's literally for a single pick, you get to put it wherever you would ever want, and the other person can't say anything about it.
Okay.
All clear?
Yeah.
Anyways, let's start. How are you feeling? Let's just go in order. How are you feeling about
S-
Aatrox?
um, it's fine, I guess.
I like Aatrox quite a bit. Like, for me, he'll be like probably here.
When I think of Aatrox, I still think of pressing Q and that only being like a really tiny sweet spot that I need to land to knock my opponent up, and then having a W that is just a toggle and an E that is the worst skill shot in the game. And when I press R, I do fucking nothing.
This is where we put the Jeexx old and some quote and a terrible picture AI filter to make him look 68
The
years old.
but old Aatrox, to be honest, old Aatrox was kind of cool. I at the end of the day, I think I still prefer old Aatrox to new Aatrox. Like towards the end, I was playing old Aatrox, so I would say yeah, goods or greats. I think goods for me.
All right. Well, you're talking about the old one. I'm talking about the current one. So then, in that case, I will take
Okay,
the
I
T
see.
to the. Okay. Well, our Demi is
I
up here.
mean,
One of my favorite mid
well,
laners in the entire game. And I guess we okay. One thing I didn't establish. How do you feel about the character overall as a character, playing as the character, playing against the character? So just the overall feelings. But yeah, for me, I literally would be up here.
I hate R.
Do you want
One
to
of my
give reasoning, or are you gonna
one of
cancel for
my
your reasoning?
one of my least favorite champions in the game.
Why?
I just don't like playing against her, and I don't like playing her. It never felt like nowadays it might be different with her ult having resets on it, but like before, it just felt kind of shit
Nowadays,
having three
wasn't that
charges
change
on your
made
arm.
like 3 years ago?
Bro, I haven't played this character in almost 7 to 8, maybe 9 years at this point.
All right,
So
mods make his opinion way less.
what the
Anyways,
fuck?
how are you feeling? You actually like
Um,
hate her?
I don't like her. Just put her in okay. She's meh to okay.
You would put her here.
Yeah.
I guess then by average it would end up here if you're like thinking
Okay.
of these, but obviously like it can't lean here, so I guess we'll drop her there.
Yeah.
Is most of this just gonna be like, yeah, I feel kind of like this, and then you have a stronger opinion, and then well, Akali,
Bro,
I think Akali is cool, but
I
honestly I
think
would probably
this
put her here. Okay, do we want to order this? It's probably too. Let's not
probably
order
too.
within
Probably
tiers. Okay, no ordering
yeah.
within tiers. Tiers will be alphabetical, but yeah. But yeah, literally, I would just drop Akala here.
Yeah, let's just keep her there. I I have strong opinions about Akali, but we shall not discuss the fact that this
Oh,
creature is a design mistake.
interesting. Are you once again thinking of all the old New Akali who could dodge turret shots?
I'm thinking about the Akali that presses W and she becomes invulnerable to her chance and also can build tank and still deal as much damage as she did before, and who
Something is
has an
telling me
R
that
that can
you
kill
do
people.
not think that she is a good champion design.
I think she might be one of the worst that they've ever
Okay, well,
made.
I'm gonna drop her there, because this sounds like here from what you are
Yeah.
talking about. So, actually,
Like visually, the character is cool and all, and the gameplay like concept is cool and all, but I'm gonna have to ask you, if you make a character that just has everything and can play any way possible without having to like make any concessions on how she actually plays, is that a good design? Or is that just you made Pepe in League of Legends and now you're pretending like it's good?
Jagger, she's hot. Anyways, well, okay.
Can we just put this in delete immediately?
I am so glad that we're on the same page.
Fuck this
I've
character.
I've said multiple times, if I had a revolver with 6 bullets that can delete 6 characters from this game, I'm shooting Akshan twice. We'll then figure out
So
the other 4. This might be my single least favorite character in the entire game. I don't give a shit about his personality. They just made him like, hey, he's the generic asshole guy. The revive mechanic is so degenerate. He has basically permanent stealth, and let's just say that I have strong feelings about marksmen that play in the solo lanes.
I had something pointed out to me earlier today, which was Atakan, the new objective,
Yep.
gives you temporary GA, right?
Yeah,
For the
for
whole team.
the next 155 seconds, if the opponent
Yeah.
kills you, you will warp back to your spawn and give the opponent 100 golds and a single pedal.
And they thought this was a good idea after they removed Chemtexo, which gives everyone Renata pass or Renata E for a few
W,
moments
but yeah.
after dying. Or Cyan passive, sorry, not even Renata passive. Because you eventually die during Chemtexo, right?
Yeah.
And they removed that because that was nobody liked that. That was toxic as shit. And they also made a character that just immediately reses people as a reward for like this fucking creature. And then later, now with Atakan, they've basically taken both of those and been like, what if we make this worse somehow? What if we just like let people play the games like degenerates, and we also gave them free snowballing for no fucking reason?
Yeah,
I think this is a great idea.
I've been playing some Swift play lately again, and well, a lot of the a lot of the changes that they have done in the season, I am not the biggest fan of, but that is neither here nor there. But final point against
Yeah.
Akshan, I also enjoy ARM. This character, the revive
Breaks the whole
passive
concept.
should not have or should not be no cooldown in ARAM when Orin can't craft his items whenever he wants, is all I'm gonna
Yeah.
say. So yeah.
Hard to
Alistar,
agree.
I don't really care.
I mean, I think Alistair is one of the best support concepts in the entire game, but I don't think he is that impressive.
Okay, so what are you
I think
feeling? 'Cause
okay. I think okay.
We can
I
promote him here.
yeah.
Sure. A move.
Mumu?
I mean, if you can carry
Yeah.
Ludwig to platinum in 2 months, then it's gotta be worth something. I don't care.
That's fine. Yeah, it's the blandest character I can think of. It's also
Yeah.
the jungler that I probably played the most.
Oh,
Nivea, I hate this character.
I have no strong feelings about Anivia. She would also probably be here.
She's like, she presses R and then suddenly you die, and there's no feedback, and then you kill her and there's no feedback because she turns into a fucking egg. I think Nopes don't like this character.
That's fair. Annie, it teaches you to actually CS.
Actual play video game.
You get to focus on something else then.
Honestly, I think Annie is a character that everybody should definitely play at least 100 games of when they start the game. I should have played more Annie when I started.
You should not be allowed to play mid lane, anything mid lane, before you put in 50 games of Annie.
So I think it should go Annie, Rise, And no, actually, not Rise anymore, because Rise now is so much like worse
Yeah.
than he was before. And then, but I before it would have been Annie, Rise, Twisted Fate for CSing, understanding what buttons to press and when to press them, and then Twisted Fate for looking at the map.
And then
But
Yasuo to understand how the coolest character in the entire game plays.
wait, actually, I think I just quoted Faker. I think Faker literally said you should play at least Rise and Twisted Fate
Oh yeah,
to learn
well,
the
it
specific
just
abilities.
happened that me and the goat of the league just happened to actually have the same thought. Kind of crazy.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I've read his quote on that, and that's on Leaguepedia or something. And that's why it's in my head.
That's fair. But honestly, I'm fine with Annie being the GOAT
Yeah.
for now. I like Aphelios a lot. I think he's conceptually and gameplay wise actually a really cool marksman. So
Yeah,
honestly, for me, it would
after
be like probably here.
after we've collectively spent over like 10 million years like understanding what Aphelios finally does, I think we can safely say that Aphelios is a cool design.
Are you fine with this?
I'm fine with that.
Awesome.
It just took us like tens of millions of years collectively as a community to understand this character and appreciate this
To
character. But I
understand
just ignore
what
that.
the five colors mean, and are like, now he has a green gun which shoots far, and this thing marks. So I wonder how these things go alongside each other.
Oh
I'll
my
be
God.
always the number one person who will flame people for brother. It is not that complicated.
Bro, I hate this character in terms of like visual design too. Like I think
Ash?
it's very no, I think
Oh.
Aphelios has like a legitimate issue with clarity. Where you're like, oh, this
I
at a
was-
glance, you're like, well,
I was gonna say, if you were talking about Ash, it's like,
no.
you're not helping. we
Listen.
won't go there. We won't go
No.
there. Anyways,
Move along. Move along.
yeah, how do you feel about Ash?
I think Ash is okay.
That sums up Ash. Moving
I
on.
think Ash is okay.
Oh
Aurelian
shit.
Sol.
Some
I
people
think,
probably won't even know what that means.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest.
I'm not
I
conceptually
don't know
cool.
what this character does anymore.
He stacks things and then drops a fucking meteor on your ass.
Okay.
Well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. The magic word moving right along. I think this.
Azir? One of the best characters in the game.
It's sick concept, sick to play, always fun to see. I think he deserves
And
to be
like,
here.
it's one of those characters where it feels like every time you play it, you're still learning something. Like you're still getting better at specific aspects of it. It's a mechanically difficult champion. It's a champion with a lot of like depth in terms of pure gameplay, and there's a lot you can always be optimizing. It's a solid champion.
Yeah. And also here, before anybody points it out, the reason why I am on fucking Microsoft Edge is because I have this same tier list, but it has some ordering that I want to keep there for Chrome. And before you say, why did you use incognito? I fucking forgot, because who uses incognito? Well, I guess actually a lot of people now when I think about it. Anyways, Bard. I think Bard is pretty damn cool.
I think Bard is either great or go. Bard is one of my
Honestly,
favorite champions in the game.
I think it is, sir. He's so different to anything else. And if I was to ever do drugs, there is only one character that I will. Don't do drugs, kids. And I'm never.
We do not condone drugs.
Yeah, I'm never gonna do it. But I think if you did play this character, would be a trip.
Fair. I think meeps
I
are
mean,
cool.
you know what?
Like
I honestly playing this character, even when you're drinking water, I think that's already a trip. So you know what? Yeah, steer clear of drugs and just play Bard instead. You're gonna get the same feeling, but not feel worse after.
I don't even know what this character is. I'll be honest.
Oh, I don't have strong feelings. I guess we can drop her. Okay, I have nothing super.
Alright.
I don't feel super strongly positively, but neither do I negatively. Blitzcrank.
I think Blitzcrank is another one of those. Like in terms of mid lane champions, I mentioned Rise, Annie, and Twisted Fate. I think Blitzcrank is another one of those characters, but for bot lane, specifically support. I think understanding the value of a single hook and how important it is not to waste it and not to just throw it out and not to just like waste your mana and waste your cooldowns. Being able to hold on to it, being able to understand when it's like impactful, and seeing how your opponents react to you are really, really important things to understand as a support. So I think Blitz is a really good way of teaching people that. So I would
Yeah.
say at least good or great.
I would argue that like if you're gonna introduce a new person to League and teach them the support role and basically have these categories of champions and for your hook support, I would argue that Nautilus would be a better beginner pick to Blitzcrank because your mana costs aren't as crazy, and I think the character is overall just so much better in basically everything that it does. But I do still understand the justification.
I
So
think that's a bigger issue with Nautilus just being too
that is
fucking overloaded.
also well, we'll get to that when we get to Nautilus. All right. Anyways,
I
Brand.
I don't like this character.
I kind of
No,
like
no.
Brand, but that's like Brand is kind of a like biased look for me because at one point when I played this game religiously and basically did nothing else in my life than play League of Legends and watch anime was like when I also played a lot of weird stuff. I mean, it was weird stuff, but it was weird stuff that worked. It was like that was the dawn of like Karthus Jungle.
Mhm.
That was Brand Jungle. That was like in season 6. Like those were the two. I think the weird junglers I guess 3 because also I played Kale a lot. That I played like weird junglers that I kind of had a soft spot for. Well, not all of them. Well, we'll get to that. So I kind of like Brand, but I don't feel too strongly about it. Why
Okay.
do you not like him?
I generally dislike playing against him.
Fair
it
enough.
it does, like, his E feels so frustrating as a laner, as because I play melee supports for a large part.
Mm-hmm.
So playing melee supports in the brand, it is like the worst feeling in the world. It's worse than Lux, it's worse than Annie, it's worse than literally any range support other than brand that I can think of.
Talking about Annie and the support role just gives me everything I need to know about like how recently you've been active playing League of Legends.
Listen here,
But
buddy.
I guess like then for me it would be here, for you it would be like here. So do we drop him in OK as
Yep,
well?
yep, that's fine. I think about this character, you have a lot of opinions about this next character, right?
I'm probably the least fan, least the no, I'm losing words.
The
I'm the
biggest,
smallest.
least,
I'm the
least biggest
smallest.
fan.
I'm the smallest Braum fan in existence, and I'm still a fan. I don't
Hell,
think
I
there is anybody on this earth that dislikes Braum. I
that's
think the
fair. I
kid. I
think
think the kid is phenomenal. It actually has a good bit of skill expression, but it's also like very good for a beginner. It has a very like distinct feature to it in the I was gonna say wind wall, but essentially a wind wall esque effect in the unbreakable. And if you're thinking character personalities and like stuff like that, like I think you could ask 1,000 people to no, you can ask a 10,000 you can have 10,000 people to give you basically this list, and I would guess that Braum is gonna be in the overall top 3 if you take the averages. Like I would be very surprised enough. I don't think there's
yeah.
anybody who doesn't like Braum.
Um, I don't think I need to add anything to
Yeah,
this other than the fact that Braum
this
is my most played champion in League of
yeah,
Legends.
I was gonna say like this is your favorite support by far, but it's like up
Yes.
there in characters as well.
Like, you
This
know
or
how
Rise
I,
Gangplank probably.
yeah, and Jax, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
But like,
Obviously, yeah, obviously,
yeah.
Jax.
Listen here. So you
Yeah.
know how nowadays, whenever, like, I don't know actually if this is the case, but back in the day when I started playing League, I only played support. But nowadays, people think I'm a top laner. Like, I play top lane for the most part. And whenever
Mhm.
people ask me to play like with normals, I end up playing top lane rather than support. But I played so much League of Legends when I was playing support that Braum, after almost like 10 years, is still my most played champion. And Mastery wasn't
Yeah.
even introduced until like 75% of the way through that. So if you think about
Season
that, that's
5,
insane.
I want to
Yeah, it
say.
was late season 5, I think.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, like I started playing. Actually, yeah, I played support season 4 and season 5, season 6, and season 7.
Yeah.
So maybe a little sooner than like 75%, but still, like, Braum is still my most played champion, even when I've played Rise, Gangplank, Jeexx, and Ornn like hell.
Yeah, I think if this was ordered like for now, like bro, would definitely be up here.
Yeah.
But given that we're not trying to make this episode 3.5 years, honestly, accurate,
Years?
3.5
Great.
years or hours long, and we're still at letter B. I think
For
it's
base.
better to not.
Oh, we're actually technically no longer at B's.
Yeah.
Fine.
Well, now we have C. And do you have strong feelings about Caitlyn from Arcane? The Arcane fans are gonna come to us. They're gonna come to us. Come for us. Come for us. Yes. If you know.
I think she's fine.
Okay. Well, awesome. Mommy scissor legs.
I hate playing against this character, but I stomp her 9 out of 10 games because I have an ability that completely negates her. So good.
All right, sure. I think the character design is cool. Cassiopeia, I quite actually like Cass.
I think Cass is another one of those champions. Like I was saying, that Rise is a character where you need to understand like how your buttons are being pressed. I think Cass actually has a similar amount of like skill to her because you have 2 buttons that you can spam a lot, but you need to understand when and how to press them and how to actually aim them even and how to capitalize on using them. She's a lot like an ADC in that regard in the mid lane, and I think that's good. Like she's a legitimately good design for that.
And any character who can do button ability wind up input into flash, it gets a +5 in the cool factor in my book.
Yeah. Choke. I hate playing against this character.
Okay, let's put him in meh.
Like, imagine you're playing in like my champions are Braum, Ornn, Rise, right? Gangplank as well, like GP, those 4 characters. You get hit by a Q, what happens?
You die.
You're gone. Good luck getting away, buddy. You're slow to shit. He's gonna silence you. He's gonna Q you again. You're slow to even more shit.
Current objective survive, actually. Anyways, Crocky
Akamaya Wiener or something. Here he's really good right now, but that's irrelevant to this.
But yeah,
he's whatever.
This
is one of the most frustrating characters to play against.
This is so polarizing for me because playing as Darius is a lot of fun, and playing against Darius is not fun.
It's the least enjoyable experience I can think of in top lane, and I just said that Cho'Gath is horrible to play against. Even Akshan is arguably better to play against top lane because at least you're getting harassed the whole time and he doesn't ever kill you.
I don't know about that one.
I think like Darius is a character where you walk up and you're just gambling with your life every time.
Say that. Like,
Yeah,
I will say that when Darius pops Ghost in laning phase top lane, like the game turns into a horror game. And now it's like
it's Dead by Daylight.
You start the chase music starts. You hear wires pop tears and it's as oh shit, all right, goodbye, cool world. So I guess then like,
but I still think he's a good character. I think he belongs either in okay or good.
Yeah. If anybody wants to experience the adrenaline you get from getting your first pentakill, and you play top lane, then pick this character. Yeah, I guess. I do not like Diana. I think she's a piece of shit.
I don't even remember. Is her ult still her old E now, or is it the other way around?
The ult is the old E, yes, which gives her a shield and then rains hell from above. Honestly, hell from above is more accurate given the damage numbers on that shit.
I think that was a really good change.
I think that was a really good change. But also, I would like to not perish from this earth from a hextech alternator character clicking QER auto to me and dying from fall.
Yeah, that is fair. I think meh is okay. Yeah.
Awesome. We also need. I'll take any justification I can get because the OK is going to be huge, so we need to fill some spots here.
I mean, Mundo, it's the average, so
he goes wherever he pleases, but where does he please to go on the tier list? I have literally no opinion on Dr. Mundo.
Like New Mundo, I haven't played enough, but Old Mundo, I actually like. At one point, when like Mundo got the AD steroid on his E when he was giga strong, I just spammed him for like a day. I think I rose like 3 divisions. It was pretty cool. It was pretty good. I like him for that. The Old Mundo, not the New Mundo. So okay, it's fine.
Spam him for a day is such a League player statement because you're like, what? What do you mean? Like only a day? I was like, nope, you do not understand, brother. That's 12 hours. All right. I think Draven is a
Draven.
piece of shit.
I think his minigame is really cool, but I don't like playing this character outside of the minigame because he doesn't feel fun to play or fun to play against. The minigame is fun, nothing else about him is.
Awesome. He can sit there comfortably. No, the only time I pick this character is when I feel pissed off and I want to win a game on ADC. So I pick a character that does 185 times my opponent ADC's damage.
Yeah.
And now the ultimate has an execute, which you probably didn't even know.
I did not know that. That's
Yeah.
insane.
That's fine.
Side note.
Yep.
Back when I started in season 4 and 5, I was playing support for a guy that mostly played Draven. And I have a 65% win rate on Braum from about 100 games with him just playing Draven. And we both went from being silver 5 to being gold 5. Thanks to him. We were gaming. This was...
Choose the lose ass character.
Nopes. He's a Nopes.
Yeah.
I can kill him. Echo, one of the best characters in the entire game.
I'll give it up. I think Echo is really cool. So honestly, I think we can put him up there.
Like, when Echo came out, he was one of the first mid laners that I was like, I want to play this character. This was before I started playing Rise or anything like that. I was playing Rise top, but like, that's when I say it was before I started playing Rise, that says a lot because I've been playing Rise for like a decade at this point. So it was Malzahar and then it was Echo. So,
oh hell, I'm so excited to talk about Malzahar.
Yeah.
But
Elise, I don't like this character.
Awesome.
I think, man.
Honestly, we don't need to talk about it. Okay, well. How do you feel about Evelyn, Jeexx?
So, old Evelyn was a hot piece of garbage.
Yes.
And then they did something to her, and then they also reworked her splash art. And I think her previous splash art in the last version of her old version that had a new splash art, that was a cool splash art. And then they did this. Well, now she's just...
What the me personally, I think the splash art is the only thing that is fine about her.
Oh, okay.
Caught emoji.
Yeah, I see. I caught emoji.
Anyways, where would you put this character?
I hate playing against this character more than I hate playing against like Sean. I think this character is a fucking menace.
I don't like.
But at the same time, I think it's a really cool concept after you actually like kind of wrap your head around how you play against her. As like a mid laner and a top laner and a support, because you understand, oh, I actually cannot just ward the same way that I usually do because my usual wards are meaningless. So I need to ward at different places in the map, and it forces you as a player to adapt to your opponents, which is really fucking cool. And then a person plays Twitch and you hate yourself.
But what is not cool is if your character's core item is Medjay Soul Stealer, we are gonna have issues. Why does this character, as an ultimate, have essentially an AoE execute that is also one of the best escape tools in the entire game and gives her total immunity?
And it heals.
The healing is from the passive. The ult, I don't think heals, but...
I don't care where the healing is from. It heals.
Yeah, she basically has the like gray health thing. It's the ult passive was... I think it's... If you have less health than you have AP... how did it was? Oh, that's the wrong one. Wait, is it not? Dog, what?
That's 240 damage, 40% damage.
Oh,
when it executes, what the fuck?
It just level 6 onward also gets camera. Yeah, I missed these. Well below, based on something and AP health heals. So yeah, okay. Anyways, yeah, she's a bastard.
Yeah.
And yeah.
She essentially has Echo R, except for the part where she does damage where she leaves rather than where she goes.
Yeah, and the damage is
literally zero skill expression
on that. The same thing. So yeah, if you play Evelyn, play something else, and you can use 2 hands. Ezreal.
Yeah. Oh I have to say Ghost. I can't. I
80
don't
carry
exactly
plays
like.
so much different than any other 80 carry, and you
Yeah.
just feel so good when you're nailing Q after Q after Q. It gets the endorphins. It gets the
One
dopamine
of
going.
one of the most satisfying champions in the game to play. Well,
Really
straight up.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
10
think
out of 10 character. Even though I don't particularly like playing against him, I think playing as him is one of the best feelings as an ADC.
yeah. One of my favorite 80 guys.
Fiddlesticks.
Okay, this is where I'll shut the fuck up before you say what you want to say about Fiddle.
Okay, so I think Fiddlesticks is a legitimately cool, like, character. Like, the idea that they eventually made Fiddlesticks from what he was before. Like, old Fiddlesticks... I played old Fiddlesticks, by the way, but, like, just because I have played old Fiddlesticks. I played the version of Fiddlesticks where you didn't even get the movement speed bonus when you stopped moving for a bit. That version of Fiddlesticks where you press W and just fucking pray your opponent doesn't interrupt you after they get unterrified.
The
The
old
one that
E
like,
was
people played
so
as a support.
funny. It was so
Holy just
fucking
crows
funny.
who did it.
Bing, 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 bing. It just bounces fucking everywhere. It never goes where you want it to go, but sometimes it just randomly silences some dumbass was trying to do something. It was so funny.
And then New Fiddlesticks, I haven't played that much, but I think New Fiddlesticks is visually and flavor-wise one of the biggest improvements they've made to any character in the game. Even more so than the next character on this list, which is also a really good improvement.
Yep.
But like, this is one of the best reworks they've ever done.
So you would place it him really high up here, right?
Good and great, at least, yes.
You know where I would place this character?
Delete, I would assume.
Yes. This is one of my least favorite characters in the entire game to play against. Because the fucking numbers on this guy's ultimate are not okay. If I don't ward above the fucking... If I don't ward Raptors and he bounces on it, does splits on it, and I die because I eat the fear, alright, fine, shame on me. If I get hit by this dude, I start legging it the other direction, brother legs it after me with half an item, and I basically just die from full to the lane-wide AoE ultimate that he has, I'm crashing out.
What the fuck do you mean?
Fucking hate this character.
Does 750 damage plus 250 AP for over 5 seconds. That's insane.
I hate this character.
That's like...
But I do think what you also said about like just conceptually and like visually like improving in the rework, I do think like it genuinely a big improvement. So I don't think he actually deserves to be here. But I fucking hate Fiddlesticks. So I guess greats or goods. You think okay or meh?
I think that's about like okay would be average. So,
yeah, that's fair. But yeah, I despise Fiddlesticks.
Fair. That is
Fiora.
very fair. I think Fiora is... Cool. Yeah, I think Fiora is, like, as I was alluding to, I think Fiora is a really cool, like, rework design overall. It's a shame that I don't exactly think that she is a healthy character.
That's fair. Very much fair.
Her passive is one of the most toxic in the game. Her ultimate is one of the most frustrating things to play against.
He just gives
But you know what makes this... You want to make this all the much better?
Mm-hmm.
You know why Camille is in goods, even though she does like a gazillion true damage?
Yeah, because of Jeexx.
Because I press E and you're fucking invalidated, bitch!
Yep. And then you press E against this character. And then now you're playing... Now the theme music starts playing, and now you're playing math and mental arithmetics with your opponent. When is the recast going to happen, and when is the riposte going to happen?
I think that dynamic between those two characters, I originally hated it because it was like it puts too much of the onus on me as a Jeexx. But then I realized, no, the Fiora has to always be guessing because I'm the one in control of when I hit E. So the Fiora has to actually figure out, do I press it towards the end of the cast or do I press it immediately? And just hope that he immediately casts it. And so on. I think it's a really good interaction, so I think she deserves to be good. Yeah. Even though I don't...
For the one interaction with this one character that I play.
Yeah. The one character that I play, I think she deserves to be
cool. Yeah. Sometimes I do wish the old Omni/esque ultimate, but I think it's fine. And I'm realizing that we're going slow on some of these. So honestly, if we have some that neither of us have anything really to say about it, I say we just drop them somewhere and go.
All
And
right. I hate this character.
okay, we can drop him there.
Galia is kind of cool, but I don't really have much to say for him.
Yeah, I think Gully is okay, but I don't think. Well, the magic word. Damn it! I said it. It's the curse. Like when if there is a mention about okay, then immediately
Okay.
just there. Anyways,
Immediately.
I think we might have something to say about this character.
So I think Gangplank is or was the most versatile character in the game. I've been like, there was at one point a meme of LS just saying, I think it's still a thing. LS doesn't really do streamings anymore, but like LS used to say that just buy Leandries on a character on mid lane, right?
Mm-hmm.
Leandries on Gangplank sounds like trolling. Until you realize, wait, this thing, when you hit your barrel on your enemy, you're slowing them, you're dealing a billion damage, and now you're also dealing a dot on them, and your ult also slows, it deals a dot on them, and also gains a damage from the AP. And because Leandry also gives you damage up, like just increases your damage output, it was insane at the time. Like old Leandries on GP was crazy good as like a fourth or a fifth item if you were in a specific kind of game. And you could argue that any build on Gangplank before mythic items was something that you could make work in certain like circumstances. And I think Gangplank being so versatile, just like Israel to a degree, and honestly Echo as well. I think these three characters have the same like quality in that they're extremely versatile in what items they can build and how they can utilize them because of the interactions that their kit has with those items, or how they can like essentially be unkillable at points, or how they can like proc shit from a million miles away, or kill you without having any scaling. Because your base damage just is the same because you have armor penetration, you have true damage, and you have a Q that does a gazillion damage on its own. And Gangplank is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I also think Burning Tides is the peak of League of Legends events. Even like ignoring the part where they disabled the character that I wanted to play for like a week and they just didn't make Spooky Gangplank. If they did that, that would be like there would never be a competition, right? It would just always be
Oh, that
number
would
one.
have
You
been
can win that.
sick. But I do
That
think
would
it
be
was pretty fucking cool to be like to hop on the game and see Gangplank is dead or has died and has
yeah
been disabled in all queues, and there's just a period after that. It's like,
yeah
the what do you
no
mean?
explanation. And
But
then
yeah.
a couple of days later, a new login screen after we had just had a Gangplank screen, a new login screen with the same theme, a little bit grungier, and you just see Gangplank walking out of the water with like
I
missing an
lived,
arm.
bitch.
Oh my god. He's so fucking good.
But yeah, GP really cool. Obviously has a ton of skill expression and is actually one of the very few characters that I do feel like there was a time period when I actually had a main character. So
Yeah.
shout out GP, very cool.
Gangplank. 10 out of 10.
Garen, do you like vanilla ice cream, Jeexx?
I think vanilla ice cream is really good as long as you've like it's a good palate cleanser. Like if you've just had something really weird, eating vanilla ice cream can be kind of good. You know? But I would say that yeah, he's fine. Yeah, I think he's fine. He's one of the simplest character designs in the game in terms of kit, but it's really solid. Like legitimately speaking, Garen is again one of those champions that I would say you need to play this character if you want to learn to play top lane, to understand what freezing is, to understand why your lane control matters, why this like how you like exert pressure on your opponent without using your skills or without like hitting them. Understanding all of this is something that Garen teaches you.
Yep. And has a little bit of skill expression too, because honestly, if you time your W properly on some CC abilities, it feels pretty good. Nardada.
Dada. The Maglio. I think this character is probably one of the cutest that they've designed overall.
I am
I
seconding that.
I think Mega Gnar is also a really cool mechanic overall, except for the part where it's really unsatisfying in ARAM because you never get to build rage. And it's
Yep.
so frustrating. But I think Gnar is another one of those top laners that feels really rewarding once you've learned to play top lane and once you've learned to actually play the character. And
Yeah,
for
honest.
a lot of top laners, I would say that there's not a lot of learning for the character itself. Like a lot of them are very simple. Like there's a very, very low skill floor, but Gnar has a very high skill floor in comparison to most of them.
I
Would you?
would agree, and I'm thinking honestly, does Gnar
I think so.
does
I
Gnar
think
deserve to be
Grant goes there.
here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
think
think
so.
so
Yeah.
too.
He's been like unchanged for a decade, if not more, at this point. There's a reason for that.
Yeah,
Like I would say
honestly,
that like that's an evergreen design at this point.
and he still sees a play even in pro play. So
Yeah,
honestly,
really.
really well made character. Gragas.
I think Gragas is also evergreen design,
Yep.
like same as Gnar, but I have to say I don't like playing against him.
Welcome to the club, playing a melee character against this guy.
Yeah, like
Really
even playing
fun.
Gangplank against him sucks. Playing Rise against him is kind of fine because you can just EW. But yeah, I would put him either in OK or bad.
What about another pirate boy, Graves? I know a lot of people talk about like, oh, I would love to have old Graves back. I did not give a shit
No.
about Graves, old Graves. I think rework Graves is super sick. I think it's really cool.
Have you ever played Lifesteal Sustain Tank Graves in ARAM?
I have played probably every single build variant that ever has existed a bit, but yes, I have played Negan.
Like when you get up to your opponent and you hit them with your 12-shot buckshot and you just heal yourself to full on a
of your
crit.
max HP, yeah.
And you, it feels so good. And I think like ARAM, I think is a really fun champion in that regard. And also for every single like role in the game other than like ADC and support, he feels really good. Like top, jungle, mid, really good champion, really fun to play.
Yep, I think he's very cool. What do you think? Great or good?
Great. Again, I
Hell
think
yeah.
this is another arguably almost evergreen design with a few exceptions to his smokescreen. Smokescreen is
Yeah,
a broken
that
ability.
ability is kind of fucked up, I will say.
Yeah, it's one of arguably the most broken abilities in the game.
Yep.
In
What about
multiple
Gwen?
different senses of the word. Speaking of W's,
Yep. How do you feel
Gwen is
about Gwen?
immune. So I'm gonna out myself, guys. I watch Lakari. I have brain damage. Okay. Lakari plays Gwen, so I'm obligated to hate Gwen. Except for the part where I shit on her because she fucking sucks against Jeexx, bitch. So good as fine.
All right, shout out to Gwen's Futamilk or whatever. Was it? I think it was Drutut's account. It was some streamer's account that was called Gwen's Futamilk. And
Yeah, go next. Go next.
if you don't know what that means, do not Google it, or do Google it on Google Images on the family computer. Hecarim,
Evergreen.
Hecarim
but
sure
hate playing.
exists.
Yeah, it's another like I would argue Galio, Gragas, Hecarim, Alistar in this like those three and Alistar, those are characters that just exist in League of Legends and they will come up every time somebody like if there's some specific item that makes Hecarim good, Hecarim will be in pro play, Hecarim will be in solo queue, Hecarim will be everywhere. Gragas will be everywhere whenever melee champions are good, and Galio will be played if AP is heavily favored or magic damage is heavily favored as a whole. They're like evergreen characters for that.
Yep.
Heimerdinger.
From Arcane!
Well, no, technically this is not from Arcane because Heimerdinger does not die in League of Legends lore.
Whoa. Okay, wait.
Mark that.
Timestamp.
Timestamp.
128. 128 Arcane spoiler.
Yeah. My bad, guys. My bad. I forgot about that.
All good. Now watch me forget to put that in and get that fast for it. That would be funny. Anyways, Heimerdinger from Arcane.
Heimerdinger from Arcane is pretty okay.
Awesome.
Delete this champion.
Oh, I actually quite like Ilaoi. This is probably one of my favorite top laners to play, actually, which is funny.
Okay, so why do you like playing Ilaoi?
Why?
Why do you like playing Ilaoi?
I like playing top laners where after you hit level 6 and the opposing jungler comes, you're walking out of that shit with a double kill. I think that feels good.
I want to say something here, but I think it would not be allowed on YouTube. So you're the reason why this character is gonna get deleted now. I am vetoing anything you say. This character gets
Oh,
fucked.
this is what you want to
Don't like
veto.
this character.
Okay, well that is
This character visually, flavorfully, like even the gameplay concept, great, cool, awesome. Everything about playing this character, I hate every. This is the character I ban.
damn.
I banned this character over Malphite, over Rammus, over any tanks that could fucking beat me up as Jax when I blind pick Jax. This is the character that I ban over all of those. Because I know for a fact that if this character's in the game and my jungler ever comes top, I lost the game. And guess what? Those fuckers, they will come top. Even though I'm like, please do not, 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 please do not.
Does Darius do the same though? But also have
but
a good
see-
early game.
See, the issue with Darius is, I can win against a fed Darius. I can stat check a good Darius even in a 2-on-1. Like Ilaoi, I cannot stat check in a 2-on-1 because it's a 3v1 and she just thrives in that. Like the main thing with Darius is that Q gives him a lot of value in a 2-on-1, but that's it. Ilaoi gains damage in a 2-on-1. Ilaoi gains damage on a 3-on-1. So
Fair enough.
it's
It has
really
been
toxic to
vetoed,
play
so
against.
I have been shot silent. Nothing I say matters, so I'm just sitting here. Fair enough.
But like, great character. Very
Cool.
good. Just delete it from this video game and just keep him in the fighting game. Like keep her in the fighting game, okay?
Really,
I like old Aurelia. I
What
think
about
old
the new
Aurelia
one?
is really weak overall though. Like in like the grand scheme of things, old Aurelia was kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
When you compare her to a lot of other characters. Like the nerf Irelia thing is kind of funny in hindsight because at the time that character was really good,
Mm-hmm.
but even if that character had stayed the way that she was, up like when she got reworked, she would have got reworked even like
Jesus
if she had.
Christ.
Yeah, we're gonna be here for a while. I can't be here for the whole list. I think if I keep doing this.
Yeah.
But yeah, new Irelia is fine
So somewhere
because
here.
I shit on her as Jax.
Then honestly, I
Not
think
as
I'll go
good,
drop here. This character is a piece of shit, but I think she's a very cool and very high skill setting piece of shit, which I can appreciate.
Yeah.
So
Same.
neat. I do not care.
Whatever. The next one as well. Honestly.
Yeah.
J4. I think that's what our Jax. I mean, I think Jax is one of the honestly most obscene top laners in the game. Like he doesn't feel balanced at times, and it's simply because the fact that he's a hyperscaling like tanky champion that has like innate tankiness, can build tanky, can build basically anything and be more tanky, can build fucking Zonius now and it's effective. Like this character, even though I play him, I think he is toxic as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Like even his trading pattern is super toxic. Post level 6, like most champions that I can think of top lane don't really stand a chance at just trading. Like especially if you play Grasp Jax, you just do like 30% of your opponent's life bar at level 6 with a QW or like Q
Auto
W alt pass save and grasp. Like you just fucking 30 to 40% gone with the Sheen proc too. How about you?
I don't feel very strongly about Jax, so for me, he would probably just be here. So, where
Can we
would
just
you
throw him in
put
goods then?
him?
I mean, I would be inclined to simply say greats because I play this character, but I think goods makes the most sense.
Yep.
Especially considering that like he's now in the same tier as all the ones that he shits on.
It is pretty funny that there's like almost all top laners, and then there's Cass, Blitz, and Ari. That's funny. What about Jace from Arcane?
From Arcane!
I think Jace is pretty cool. For
yeah, I
me,
think
he
Jace
would
is
probably
pretty
be here. It's I don't know. I think he's just like pretty up there when it comes to form changers, and I think like even ignoring all the Arcane stuff, like visually, I already liked him. I think his play pattern is pretty fun. Like he has some fun combos and stuff like that. Small optimizations you can make. I think he's cool. I don't feel super strongly about him, but I do like him overall.
Leaning against the Jace that understands that you can stand between melees and ranged and just zone your opponent out of like the XP range almost is it's terrifying. I think he's another one of those top laners that is really like gratifying to learn to play and play against. And he's really hard to play against, I would argue. At least if Jace has any modicum of like ability in the video game, which I don't think I've ever actually played against a good Jace. So. Based off of what I've seen people do.
Good
Jace.
He said the word. He's saying good.
Right.
I'm grasping at straws here.
Jhin. I think this is one
Proposal?
of the best characters in the video game.
Conceptually, probably the coolest AD carry in the entire game. And I think Jhin is another character like Braum that I feel like everybody just likes him. Jhin, because he's just cool. Actually, that's not true, because I know Yudo hates this guy. So actually, there is one person who doesn't like him.
I mean, you can be wrong. It's okay sometimes.
That is true. But yeah, Jhin, very cool.
Jhin, great. Goats. Don't.
Jeexx from Arcade.
I don't like Powder. She's okay.
Awesome. Okay. What about Kai'Sa? I would honestly drop her here as well, I think.
Yeah. Kalista, though.
I think Kalista is cool. I played Kalista a lot when she released. I haven't played her that much like in a long time, but there was the time period when I played this character a lot, and I think she's very cool.
Yeah, I think her passive is one of, like, at that point there had not been anything like that in the game. And now we have another character that has something similar in Abessa, and I'm impressed that it took almost like a decade for them to make another one. But at the same time, considering that this is one of the most broken characters in the history of the video game, kind of makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah, good to find.
I would be inclined to agree. Karma. I don't feel strongly about Karma. I play her a decent bit, but Karthus. I really like Karthus, actually. For me, he would probably be up here. I like him in lane. I like him in jungle. Alt, obviously, very satisfying. He's very satisfying also to play, because it's, if you don't hit your Qs, you're never doing anything. If you hit your Qs, you're literally one of the most broken early game junglers in the game as well, which is kind of crazy. But it all comes down to literally just player skill. You can be either the most worthless or the best early game jungler in the entire game.
It's solid champion.
Is the placement okay?
I agree.
Cool.
I agree.
Kassadin. I don't like Kassadin a lot.
Yeah, I think Kassadin is like the mid laner version of Jeexx for me, except for the point where Kassadin doesn't have like that much variety, or did not have that much variety in what he could build.
Yeah.
And that sort of just makes him a less interesting of a character. Expeke, though, the thing that people don't say anymore.
Yeah, people don't say it anymore. No more.
Yeah. It kind of feels sad, though, in a way, but yeah.
In a way, yeah, but I've always been a Kassadin hater, so... And the character is allegedly, like, racist. At least all the players are racist.
Oh,
we can't... Nope. Say nope to racism, guys.
Nope. Yep.
Katarina?
No strong feelings. She goes sweet swoo.
Yeah, she's hot redheaded. Kale.
Kale? I mean, not that many strong feelings, except for the part where she shits on me in lane.
This is
somehow...
I played this character in the jungle at some point, but I don't really care about the new Kale, so...
I feel like Kale is one of the most annoying characters I can face in lane as Jeexx. I don't know why. It's always like, every time I face a Kale, it feels like I'm on the losing end after level 1.
Alright, pick one character from this that you get to talk more in depth about from the show.
I don't give a fuck about any of these characters.
Awesome. I'm going with Lee Sin. Anyways, conceptually cool. I would probably put him all the way in grade. How do you feel?
Yeah, conceptually, yeah.
Awesome. Kennen.
Don't
care about.
Whatever.
Okay.
Kha'Zix, whatever.
I'll put him there because I can't like him. I do not like Kindred.
The old passive is cool. Kindred is toxic sound, yeah.
Okay, so here, awesome. Kled, if you don't want to think in top lane.
Yeah, if you don't want to think. I don't like the fact that he has 3 grievous wounds and he does a gazillion damage with his autos, and yeah.
Awesome.
Kog'Maw.
Yeah, I think that says everything we need to say about Kog'Maw.
Yeah. K'Sante.
Give me a tier.
Whatever.
Oh, because I actually quite like him. I think all the balance stuff aside, I think he's really fun to play. So I guess he then by default falls in between. So
you would put Leroy in goods, huh? Okay.
Probably would, honestly, if we did the same thing with second. Probably would, because
Okay.
he visually looks very cool and stuff he does is cool. So I don't care
Yeah,
about
like
if
I
there
feel
was a
like
balance issue.
Cassante and Leroy, in my mind, like share a space. Because when I think of Leroy, I think of Cassante and vice versa. Most likely because they came out around the same time, if I remember correctly. Like Cassante's been out for like multiple years at this point. Same with Leroy, and to a degree, they felt as broken when I played against them. So they just share this headspace, and I can't get rid of it.
I was gonna say something. Let's move right along. LeBlanc.
Whatever. This character is the most whatever.
I hate
Yeah.
LeBlanc, and this is a character that I pick when I want to win the game because it's a choose to lose as character, and people who say the character takes skill are delusional.
Oh,
Anyways,
Lee Sin. Wow, yeah, Lee Sin.
is there a way we don't put the most iconic jungle champion in the history of the game here? That's still relevant to this day. That has been relevant ever since it came out, and has one of the plays named after a player that is basically this guy. And now you can do similar stuff with other characters as well, but it's still,
Sure. I'll give it up.
Awesome. Leona?
I don't care. She's the blandest melee support in my mind.
Lilia.
I'm not a fan of Lilia. I'm afraid. I like the 10-man sleep in Worlds in 2020. I think.
Hell yeah. Well, I think she's kind of cool, so we'll bump it up. Bumpy. We'll bumpy it up a little bit. Lissandra?
No,
awesome.
whatever.
Thank you for sharing.
Also, I just checked. Leroy came out in 2019, and Cassante came out in 2022. Why do I feel like Cassante's been out for like half a decade?
I didn't know.
Interesting.
Wasn't the champion like visuals and the backstory designed by Lil Nas X, or am I tripping?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I've never heard of this, at least.
Okay, I literally thought like some aspects of like the champion, like obviously not gameplay stuff, but other than that, like I thought were designed by Lil Nas X, but maybe I'm remembering. Lucian, I quite like Lucian actually. I think he's one of my favorite ADCs in the game. The double shot is just like very satisfying. So,
I think Lucian is most definitely one of the most satisfying ADCs to play.
That's a great. Okay.
Yep, that is okay.
Awesome. Lulu. Lux.
Oh, sorry.
Did you want to say something about Lulu?
No.
Okay. What about Lux?
No.
Malphite?
Malzahar!
Okay,
Yippee!
it's time!
Yeah, baby!
Awesome.
Malzahar was the first champion I ever wanted to purchase in League of Legends.
He was one of the first characters that I properly played as well, and I still like him. It is fun. Like, usually I like the mobile stuff more often than not, but Malzahar, for whatever reason, it's just like, it's really relaxing playing as Malzahar, and but the also holds a special place in my heart because the first proper combo me and a friend came up with in season 4 when we had played the game for 2 months was we're gonna play Sinch and Malzahar bot lane, and when the opponents come to next to our tower without their minions, we can flip them into the tower range with Sinch and then Malzahar out them. It was so specific, but the few times we pulled it off, it was the coolest thing ever, and I like Malzahar.
Hell yeah.
Yippee.
Very satisfying champion.
Yeah. Makai?
Whatever. It's the most whatever top laner, in my opinion.
Master Yi?
I mean, he's kind of iconic, right, guys?
Good.
People like Master Yi. Yeah, good. Yeah, that's good.
Milio?
I don't know what this character does. I just know that he has a ball.
So, any feelings?
No, none whatsoever.
Well, I think me solely bumping it up to gold status would be a bit too much, but I think this is the coolest enchanters in the game, And the
Okay.
one season when I actually played ranked and I wanted to see like how hard would it be to get to diamond, I basically only played Milio and went from bronze 4 to diamond 4 in 61 games. And character was insanely broken and nobody was playing him. But I think this is like now when he's even like he's balanced, I still think like this is just the coolest enchantress in the game. So I would put him here, but I don't know if that is weird because if you literally don't know, he has a
Nothing.
skill shot that knocks the enemy back and stuns them. He has a field that does a little bit of healing, but what's important is it constantly applies the passive, which is you when you affect an ally champion with an ability, their next attack or ability is going to burn for the opponent for a little bit of damage, and it also gives them extra attack range. And then he has 2 charges of basically Lulu's E, but it also gives the target movement speed, and the ultimate is an AoE heal that also cleanses.
Hmm.
And
This
based on
character
that,
seems kind of strong.
it is pretty damn good.
Great works. I'm fine with that.
Awesome. MF?
Very indifferent.
Huge hog. Anyways, yeah.
I liked Old Mord better. I don't like this Mordekaiser.
I think Oldmore was fine, but I think New is cooler personally. But I had my moment with rework Mordekaiser as well when everybody was playing him AP and I was going tank, and then nobody else did it, but Riot caught on, and then they basically killed tank Mordekaiser, and that's when my Mordekaiser arc stopped. But I went on a
Remember
tear. I
when-
will say I went on a tear, proving people that tank is the way to go.
Yeah.
But I guess like, is this fine?
Yeah, that's fine. But just as a side note, remember when they made a Mordekaiser that had a Q that stacked 3 times and could deal like 500 damage level 1?
Dun, dun, dun. Yes.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Pepper is
I
fine.
want to know what one of my favorite ADCs or like bot lane carriers was to play at the time.
Vayne?
Yeah, Vayne. Yeah. I totally played Vayne. I played Mord Bond. Like when they reworked Mord, I had been playing.
bottom
Like,
lane. Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
was literally thinking that it was something like, yeah, this thing would like Oldmore would explode you, and then they would have like that character going around. That's why I went for Vayne. But yeah, like if you think it's just old bot lane carries when he got the EXP thing, then yeah, okay.
it was really fun. Like I like
It was
old
neat.
Mord. That reworker Mord, and even before that, I was playing the previous iteration of Mord mid lane.
Mord is one of those characters where it's like it would have been cool if we got this, but like as a separate character, and then we also got to keep the old Mordekaiser as well, because there was a lot going for old Mord. That was actually a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
Morgana.
Very indifferent to this character. Spell Shield is annoying, but I've never seen this character in the game.
Nami.
Nami's a fish. Very fishy.
Nasus.
Nasus. Susan. It's one of the most boring top laners to play against.
This broke
Nautilus.
shit.
You wanted to talk about Nautilus, didn't
Yeah, I think Nautilus is broken, has been broken. This is if your little brother that has no hands, no legs, no eyes, no ears, no brain, if your mom wants you to play League of Legends with that person, give them Nautilus, they're gonna do perfectly fine. This is a point-and-click adventure. It is an insanely tanky character that has one of the most broken skill shot hitboxes in the entire game. You throw out your Q. It's in God's hands now if it lands or not. If it lands, you auto-attack them. You reset the auto with your W, and then you click them with your point-and-click stun. Or if you want to guarantee the hook, then you do the stun first. It's a point-and-click adventure. I think Nautilus is really boring for that. And you can make a monkey play League of Legends and they're gonna do fine with Nautilus. So I do not like Nautilus for that reason. But would I say delete? Probably not. but probably
I
here.
don't. Yeah, I just don't like the character as what it is, but I don't think deleting him is worth it.
Yeah.
Because there are moments when you would be like, well, maybe I'll just play Nautilus here.
Our speedrun
boy, we
is
got a lot
going
to go.
fine. Well, what is the recording at? 1:49. Okay.
Where?
Nico. I actually quite like Nico.
I've never played Nico.
Is this okay?
That's fine.
She's cute. Nidalee.
Nidalee. I think Nidalee is one of those characters, again, that is super versatile and has a lot of things going for her that can make her interesting for people. Like King Nidhogg has definitely proven that this character can be played in any way, shape, or form. And I think she is a very gratifying character to actually like get a good game off with.
And she's too tanky. If you know, you know.
It's Nidalee too tanky. Bro.
How are you referenced Peke 2 times already?
Oh
But
my
yeah,
god. And, it's crazy to think that there's probably people that will see this who actually play League of Legends who have no idea who we're talking about.
Yep, and
Think about
those people also need to remember to do their homework. So do your homework, because it's actually
I think Nidalee.
Good, probably.
Nidalee, good or great? Good or great?
Yeah. I'll give it a good just because I like the split for now. Nyla.
I've never played this character.
All right, Nocturne.
Don't like this character. I think he's a one-trick pony and doesn't feel fun to play against nor play as. Or having him on your team is kind of good, but usually requires actual coordination. So meh.
Yep, I'm fine with that. I don't feel strongly about that. What I do feel strongly about is Nuno.
Okay. Go ahead.
I have a proposal. This guy needs to be beheaded. Awesome. Yeah.
I agree.
If you can jungle, then yeah, play Nunu. But I think the W gives you an automatic gank, Q gives you an automatic smite when you click your abilities, then you click your R. It's another point and click adventure. I do not like this character. I think conceptually they're also really boring, so nothing going on for him. I think the character is just a piece of shit, and I don't care for them.
It's fair.
So, awesome. Olaf?
This thing can go wherever he wants.
Sure, he can be unstoppable in the OK tier alongside half of
this
the
100
list.
other characters.
Orianna?
Orianna is pretty satisfying mid laner to get like actual plays going with, but I don't think I don't much like her actual design, visually.
Laning against her is also annoying because of the passive, but you reckon good or just okay?
I would probably put her in good. She's a really evergreen champion that has actual impressive plays that can happen.
Yeah.
So
true.
Or it doesn't just feel like, wow, this player just hit all their buttons and things just worked out.
Big shockwaves are very satisfying.
Yeah. Or
where would you place this character, Jeexx?
Wow, I like this character. He's literally me for real. He's
if you haven't seen what Jeexx looks like, this is what Jeexx looks like.
Literally. That's what I look like Ryan Gosling. Yeah. But yeah, Ornn is he's design wise one of my favorite champions. I think the Grumpy Go Grandpa is he's just good. I think he's fun to play. He's visually cool. He's got decent lore. He's got a good voice actor. He's literally thinking about insane weapon, not even weapon, insane smithing shit while he's out fighting people, being like, what if 2 hammers? He's just great character. He's like Braum, but top lane and a little bit less friendly. A lot less friendly. Not friendly at all.
Yeah,
hates you, actually.
Wait, he actually hates
Don't talk to him.
But yeah, I'll give it up. My opinion on Ornn is that he looks cool and the double knockup combo is satisfying to pull off. So
I think gameplay wise, he has a lot of fun stuff too. Man.
We'll give him the GOAT status. He is literally a GOAT, so
he's a GOAT.
Weird. But who is not a GOAT is this piece of fucking garbage. Okay, awesome. Well, are we just doing this and moving on?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Fuck that character.
Poppy.
One of the best reworks that they ever did.
Definitely. This is top 3 reworks of all time in League history.
Definitely.
I think it fits the new. New Poppy just thematically fits better. It's like the animations are low-key really smooth. And whatever the old ultimate was, whoever came up with that is a psycho. I'm glad we got rid of that for a lot more fun of
Yeah,
an ability.
yeah,
So
I do
honestly,
agree.
I think just for like how good the rework was, I don't feel too strongly about Poppy, even
Mhm.
as a Yasuo player. But I think she deserves to be properly here.
Yeah, I hardly agree. Pike. So Kiana, right? I think Kiana is so Quinn, right?
Did you actually want to talk about these two? I
Yes,
fucking hate both of
no,
them.
I absolutely love both of these characters. I think they're some of the most frustrating characters to play against, and I think they came out again fairly close to each other. So it makes me really wonder, what the fuck was Riot doing when they released a lot of these characters? You know, hate this. Fuck them both.
Not designing good characters, that's what I'll say. But what about Quinn?
Yeah, I don't like her, not at all.
I don't really care. She is a range top laner, so if you want to put her here,
Yeah,
though, so I think
that's
I'm
fine.
fine
Yeah,
with
that's
that.
good.
So
That's good.
Rakan, though,
Rakan, one of the best supports in the whole game.
I'm right there with you. I think Rakan playstyle wise is kind of what I like look for when like thinking of something like Alistar, because where Alistar is really like you can Alistar and Leona are kind of like, yeah, you can peel, you can engage, but it's basically like once you commit to one thing, you're doing that. Like with Alistar,
Yeah,
once you're going in, okay, I'm pressing flash WQE, and that is my entire kit now gone. I'm gonna stun this person twice, and that's what I do. Leona, same thing. You're sending one of your abilities in, you're probably sending your whole kit in there. Rakan, you can go in, you're gonna start your ultimate, you can dash through one of your own allies, then you can flash W, then you can pop them up, you can grab a heal from there, you can dash back to your team. The gameplay loop of Rakan is really satisfying. Everything he does looks really cool. And I think just like this like engaging support that also has enchantress elements to it, like is like a super cool concept,
yeah.
and it's really satisfying to play. So honestly,
Goat
I'll be
status, I
willing
think.
to
I
give
think he
him good
deserves it.
stats as well. Yeah.
Yeah. I think like a few days ago I was watching, actually was it earlier today? I'm not even 100% sure right now. But I was watching Cadril
Mm-hmm.
and Reckless was playing Rakan, and I just thought to myself, wait, can Rakan just press R and dash to someone and literally charm everybody in the path? I've never even like considered that. Because
Yep.
like this is a character that I've played very little of, but the fact that you can just like I saw him W through people, trump them all into his W and knock them up, and I realized, oh, this character is fucking insane. Like
Yeah.
this character is everything that I wish like Lee Sin was in regards to like Lee Sin being giga mechanically difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And people think that they can play him. I think people should just play Rakan if they want to play Lee Sin. Just go play support as Rakan, bro.
But yeah, they literally had to change because it's been quite a while at this point. But they literally like Rakan is one of the rare characters where your flash gets locked out for a short period of time once you press another ability. Like when you press your ultimate, your flash is locked out from being used for half a second. Literally, because just all flash was there was no counterplay, and it was just such a powerful way to initiate.
Yeah,
But
great
Rakan,
character.
very cool.
Okay.
I mean, I mean,
Okay.
is there any other tier he could go in?
Okay.
Okay. Rek'Sai?
Have you seen Rek'Sai recently?
Nope. I did play against a person whose name was Rek'Sai yesterday, and they were on crack, I assure you.
You know, I think you answered where Rek'Sai goes. Even if Rek'Sai gameplay wise is fine.
What about Rel?
Uh, she's kind of in the same camp, but I guess I've been seeing her more now. She's okay.
Yeah.
Renata, I think she's kind of cool,
I was going to say the
but
same. I actually think Renata is a really cool support. Like,
yeah,
the kid is. Once again, like, it feels a
she
lot
need,
different to a lot of other enchantresses, and it feels like you have much more agency as an enchantress player, and that's what's like really cool about characters like Rakan or Renata as enchanters, and to a lesser degree Emilia now. Like when the passive was still at 35%, like just flat, like you had so much power early on, but now like I feel like Mila is more of a traditional enchanter, but like And I'm not talking about like having agency in lane in a way where something like Nami has, just because like Nami or Lulu, just because they have damage, but more just like you have a lot more playmaking ability, which I think is very cool and is satisfying.
Yeah, wholeheartedly agree.
Does she deserve to go up here?
Yeah, sure. I think that's fine.
Sure.
I think she's pretty high up there.
Yeah. Renekton?
I don't like this character.
That's fair. I have literally like I would have dropped him here. I have no
Yeah,
opinion, so
that's fine. I think
we can
that
do
is
this
fine.
if you
Like
feel like it. But
that's perfect. Let's do that. Yeah.
all right.
Rengar, you have feelings about Rengar,
I
do you
had
not?
feelings about Rengar, but these
Oh.
days, Rengar is a character where your success relies solely on your opponent's not thinking. If the opposing team is grouping as 5, your character is worthless, and you're literally just gonna be sitting in a side lane on a character that isn't great at split pushing, but there's nothing else you can do. And if your opponents are not thinking and they send a carry to farm a side lane, you're going to execute a combo that literally kills them no matter what they do, and that's it. But I think Rengar is. There are. I said about Gangplank, like Gangplank is one of these characters that I can say that I've like properly had a moment to main. Truly, I have had 2 main characters in this game's lifespan, and Rengar is the one that was my main for the longest time, and that's why he holds a special place in my heart. But I think he's been so bad for so long because you're literally like I just talked about agency. Like you have no agency. You're literally this character banks on your opponent making mistakes unless you play him with grasp and ignite top lane, in which case you're a piece of shit. So yeah, honestly, legacy like just with legacy, I could be like throwing him somewhere here, but I don't know. I guess I'd drop him there just for the legacy of it, but I do wish they did something where he would feel fun again, because there's still like I still like Rengar, and like executing the one shot is still satisfying, but it's like I can't with a like pure heart I can just say like yeah objectively this and this is cool, because there isn't much there. But I do have a screenshot saved about a Vayne saying something about damage dealt in 0.02 seconds, and that made me feel very good. So, yippee.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say about Rengar, or should we just move on?
Nothing. Okay, but Riven though. I think Riven is conceptually and gameplay wise one of my favorite characters.
Yep.
Not like her lore is very simple and very boring, or was. I don't know what it is anymore, but like it was very simple.
Yeah,
but
something
I think
about like her and Zack banging or something. That was the lore, right?
I don't think that's the lore. But
Wait,
yes,
really?
Singed kills her units.
Yeah,
I don't think
they
so.
must
You
have
know,
retconned with Arcane.
Yeah, they
That's
definitely
crazy.
did.
But yeah,
the broken sword, the visual of the broken sword, one shoulder pauldron, like being partially armored and partially not, and the triple Q, E, W,
wait, sorry,
all
I
the
can't hear
things.
you. Wait, let me turn off the night core in my brain. Okay, I can hear
And
now.
so guys, I'm a 73-month subscriber to BoxBox because I'm stupid and he has good emotes, and
He
I
does have
like
very
Riven
good
gameplay.
emotes.
Yeah, it does have really good emotes.
But yeah,
Holy
I
shit, they're
mean,
really, really good.
if there is one character in this game that like if I was like if you want to get really like if you could get really good on one champion in this game just like by snapping your fingers, you get to pick one character, who would it be? I would pick Riven.
Yeah,
I think Riven
I think
is
Riven.
so cool.
Yeah. By the way, whenever I look at Riven, I hear like an angel with a shotgun in the back of my head. So I can totally get
I hear
it.
Windows Down. I hear Windows Down. That's the song that I hear. Rumble.
It's a peak. Rumble. So you know how ranged top laners suck ass, but you know how you make them even worse.
How
You make
about
them not ranged.
How about playing a melee champion in this character? This has this ability that lasts for 5 seconds on a like 7-second cooldown that doesn't take minion aggro. Yeah,
Yep.
play
Which
this
also
Rumble.
deals like 300 damage over the
Yeah.
duration of it.
Playing against Rumble on a melee character is miserable, and there is a good
Yeah.
reason why. Usually, when in pro play, there is a Rumble. If the Rumble is high prio, which usually with stuff like Jarvan, most of the time, what you see up against that is Gnar or Kennen. Because even the
Yep.
pros, they do not want to be playing melee against this character. 'Cause it's misery. There was a
It's
time.
3-second duration and lasts cooldown is 10 to 6.
Okay. Yeah, but
Just
yeah, he does max it first. But there was one time period when I played a lot of Rumble, which is the only like positive memory I have of Rumble, which was my like first top lane arc, and that was when Fiora was like triple S tier top laner and nobody else was even close. Cause Rumble, like nobody played Rumble back then, but Rumble was a character that I played somewhat regularly, and that matchup was one of the few where you could actually do something. So
Interesting.
yeah, um, I want to say that was like just as Fiora got reworked.
Would have been season 5, end of season 5, I think.
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right because I started preseason 4, so yeah, it's definitely then that. But yeah, I just remember Fiora was like by far the best top laner, and Rumble was my response to that. Anyways, this is gonna be all you. I like for me,
so
Rise is here. I don't care for Rise at all, so it's all you.
I think this iteration of Rise is the one that I probably like the least, because right now he doesn't have anything in his like kit, like specifically that makes him stand out. Before, with the 2 ranks in his alt and 6 ranks in his Q and all that, he had like something immediately standing out from him. And before that, he had the permaroot version, which was really satisfying to pull out. Like permaroot Rise just feels like playing piano. It feels so good pressing all the buttons at the right times to get your opponent to just immediately melt and never get a chance to move. And it's just poetry in motion. The new Rise, the current Rise, where you have the rune stacks, you don't have the shield anymore. I think the version with the shield alongside Permaroot Rise are my 2 favorite iterations. The version of the shield with 6 ranks in Overload. That was probably my favorite.
Probably
I think
also
this
the
character,
strongest iteration of Rise.
ignoring Permaroot, I would say, yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Because
yeah.
Permaroot, like, that was broken. When Huni popped that off, and
Yeah, I
people are
mean
like, oh!
that was also when like overall just champions weren't as crazy, and then you just had this one dude going like dun 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 dun, dun, and you're not moving and you're just dead. And also
There's
it gets very tanky because it build Frozen Heart.
Yeah, you build Rod, Archangel, Angels, and fucking Frozen Heart every time, pretty much, and you
Yep.
just like blast it through everything.
Yep.
Nowadays, you can still do something similar, but it's a lot less powerful for Rise because Rise is now more about scaling with AP than scaling with mana. But that was also something that I really liked about Rise, where he had an alternate scaling that made him stand out from the rest of the cast,
Yeah.
and him getting to build a lot of mana meant that me, as a person who didn't know how to play video game, could spam a lot of abilities. And he has a really impactful ultimate that feels really satisfying to use effectively. And whenever you actually do manage to pull some shit off with him, where you pop Ghost, where you pop EEQ, you're moving super fucking fast, using W for resets instead of just rooting people. You're doing EEQ, WQ, EQ, EQ, EQ. You're just running around people and you're just slowly melting them. You're healing yourself up with Conqueror or Riftmaker, depending on if you actually decided to build that. Nowadays, that doesn't work anymore that well, but still. Rise is just another character where I think building anything AP with him works really well, and there's a lot that you can do with simple movement that makes him satisfying. I was talking about this on my stream yesterday, where I was discussing Dreamwild, a game made by the guy that made Psycho Pump, and how
Twisted Tea slash
Dreamwild
Jeexx.
is Twisted Tea slash Jeexx, yeah. Dreamwild is a game where you don't have any movement abilities outside of jumping and crouching, but like it's a first-person shooter that focuses purely on momentum. Like you're supposed to just be building momentum using basic first-person shooter tech. So bunny jumping, strafe jumping, and surfing and whatnot. And it feels like Rise is that to all the mobility champions in the game. All the dash-based heroes are Ultra Kill, Doom Eternal. I can't even think of another one that has a bunch of dashes off the top of my head. But a lot of like movement-based shooters that have a lot of movement options. I think Rise is more comparable to like C-ish surfing, TF2 surfing, or anything of the sort. And I think that is really cool about him. He's a very basic champion with a really satisfying end goal and can be really, really impactful.
Yeah, I was gonna, since I would have put him here, I was gonna ask like which one in greats or goods, but we do have the opportunity to have literally both of our legacy picks just next to each other.
Yeah,
But still,
I think that's fine.
okay,
I think
awesome.
that's fine. Even though I would argue that if he goes into greats, I think that's fine.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Summer.
There was this one season where I played with a friend of mine in botland again. Where we were just like zooming through some flex rank games. We were playing Tarek and Samira. It was Samira release patch. So
Oh,
Samira was really contested, and she had the bullshit where she could knock you up after you getting hit by any CC.
yep.
So you have Tarek. You know how Tarek works, right? Where you hit
Yes.
an ability and you get the 2 stacks that you pop and you get reduced cooldowns.
Yep.
And then you have this character that wants to go into melee range to use her abilities. And then you have two characters that can stun multiple people, and a really easy way of proccing Samira passive, and also a really easy way of making sure you're always being able to hit for your passive as a Tarek. It was
Yep.
very powerful. I'm not much of a fan of playing her myself, but she's very cool.
Goods are great.
Great, I think. Like
Yeah,
design wise, she's great.
I mean, it's Dante. It's female Dante in League of Legends. I also think that this is like one of my favorite ADCs in the game. You're gonna notice a pattern here where it's like my favorite bot laners, both roles, is essentially like, hey, this thing is a little bit different than the usual characters in this role, and that's why I like them. But yeah, some are very satisfying to play, and I think very similar to Katarina in a lot of ways, but I think once again, like with Samira, there's a bit more to think about than with Kat. So I think that's neat, and honestly, not too bad, because I feel like there's definitely a lot of characters here that I don't really care about, like Sejuani. Do you have strong feelings about Sejuani, Jeexx?
No.
All right, Senna,
None. No, none.
Seraphine,
Don't like how she moves, but that's about it.
Set.
Set is a really cool character that I was super excited for when he got like showcased around
But
PBE. Yeah, I was super excited for him when he got revealed on PBE.
yeah, I don't think I've ever seen him play this character.
Yeah, you want to know why?
Yep,
He feels fucking awful to play.
fair enough. I mean,
He doesn't feel good to play at all.
I do think, like, usually when you hear complaints about set, usually it's to do with the W. I think if you're getting hit by set W, you probably did something wrong, because that shit is one for a full second. Like,
I think a big issue with people being like, I can't dodge this ability is that they walk into the ability and then they're like, oh my god, this ability is broken. What do I do about it?
yeah.
Or set W flashes, which is that's the actual like more annoying iteration.
Or you get
but
hit
that's
by
unlikely to
some like
happen.
other hard CC, but then like at that point you get hit by some hard CC when set is at full grit, then it's okay. If you get hit by a hard CC when there is a Darius walking into a Garen walking into a top laner walking into you for a full second, you're probably dying at that point. So I don't think then it's an issue of, oh my god, set W, which is this tank character's basically only way to actually be tanky apart from a little bit extra regen, and is on a 20-second cooldown, and is where all that damage comes from. I think you're good.
I think his passive is really cool.
Yeah.
That was the main reason why I was excited for set originally. When I saw his passive was a 1/2, that made me excited.
Yeah.
But
I think he's cool, but I don't think I would bump him.
No, definitely
more than
not.
that.
Definitely.
My legacy pick, your legacy pick, your thing that you were excited about, but then it was like, the reality hits. So this line is shaping up to be
despair.
the trend.
I hate this character. Thank you.
Awesome. You have good taste in champions, Jeexx.
Fuck that character.
What about Expetu here? I'm gonna teach you guys
Expetu
today
no longer plays
Dead
League of
Man's
Legends.
Blade is really good.
Bro, Expetu stopped playing League because he made a thesis on League of Legends and he was like, holy shit, League of Legends sucks.
In that case, I was gonna put Shen here. You know what? Betrayal. No, nobody gets out. We'll revisit this list when he comes back and bump Shen up here.
Based.
No, we can bump Shen up here. Shyvana?
I have no strong feelings about Shyvana.
Singed? From Arcade?
I think Okay, Singed is one of the most unique characters in the whole game.
That is true.
Can we agree on that?
Yes.
Yeah, he teaches you something as when you're playing against him, even more so than Evelyn does. And he also teaches you to play in ways that makes no sense for the regular form of gameplay that you experience in League of Legends.
Proxy.
He's a proxying, yeah, for one. Like you need to, when you're playing Singed, you need to understand that killing your opponent is simply a bonus, for example. Like, you don't need to focus on killing your opponent. Your goal is to accrue an advantage by reducing your opponent's advantages. And I think that's really cool. I hate playing against this character,
Yeah,
but that's
playing
so
against
fucking
him,
cool.
he's a piece of shit, but you gotta
Yeah.
agree that there is something there. So I think we can bump him up to good.
Yeah.
We were earlier talking about like Poppy being one of the like thinking like probably like top 3 rework in League history. I think Cyan is the single
the best
greatest rework they have done.
Yeah. He's not broken. He's not too like overtuned. He's been the same way for over a decade now. He's been this version of Scion for longer than he ever existed in the previous version of Scion. I think he is the de facto rework. Like, it's Scion, Poppy. Like, those two are the standard that Riot should always strive for in their reworks. I think.
One of the faces of modern League of Legends bows. What if they never rework Scion?
That's so
Would both
insane
be-
to say.
Bro would be playing API really in Platinum too.
AP Jax. Okay, to be fair, he's playing AP Jax in fucking scrims now. So
Yeah, honestly, AP Jax I think like for a while now has been like actually pretty good. So
I hate this.
But-
I hate this.
Sever?
Sever is cool. Really basic champion.
Wait.
Oh, old Skarner? Let's go. Let's go. Old
not
Skarner.
rating. We
Yo,
haven't
Dominion?
rated
Dominion?
Anyways, bring
Bro,
back Dominion. Dominion
is-
was gas.
Dominion erasure. I can't believe this shit.
Sona?
Only like Sona. It's Hatsune Miku. put
The
him
first
in
ever
a-
doujin I read was a Sona doujin, so we can bump her up good.
Bro!
Anyways, Saraga?
What the fuck?
What?
Man. I think
This is a
Soraka
216,
whatever.
and I'm not gonna timestamp this specifically. Nobody's gonna hear this even.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, so I'm actually gonna describe. No, I'm not gonna start describe. That's too.
Oh,
That's too
Soraka is
much.
whatever, I think. I think
Yeah.
Soraka is completely whatever.
I hate
Swain. I think this rework is a really good rework overall, but I really don't like playing as Swain. I think his Q is toxic as fuck.
I
I
think
think his Q is
he's
so toxic.
a piece of shit, and I thought the ult was funny. So the Lucius Malfoy looking ass for that, you're getting bumped down by a spot. Okay, what do you
Silas!
What do you feel
Okay.
about Silas? Jeexx?
Silas is one of those characters that I look at and think to myself, fuck, I wish I was good at playing this character. I wish if this character was out when I started playing mid lane, this would be one of the two characters that I play mid lane. 100%. He's now one of the characters that I play as a whole, like in general. But dude, he is essentially AP Riven with a decent ability for wave clear, insane sustain, a really solid CC ability for picks, and every ultimate in the video game. Every ultimate in the video game. It's limitless. This character is literally limitless. He has no bounds set on him past the fact that you can only have one of the 5 ultimates at a time on the enemy team. But he's just one of the best champion designs in regards to having one of the simplest core concepts of you take an enemy ability and you have the enemy ability.
So
It's
you
great.
would literally put him
Love
in
it.
like goats.
I would put him in Go. You would delete him, I'm sure. But
Yeah, I was gonna say that's funny that I heard you like compare him to Riven, and
Yeah.
talk about like if I was good, I would play this character. I was gonna say I have a solution to your problem. Press
called
your
Riven.
W key.
But see, the problem with
Silas?
that is, like, I think the sustain is insane, yes, but the actual reward for this character isn't simply locked behind surviving in a fight
The
or
I
killing a person
have
with one of them.
such an issue with Silas because I think if this character was power budgeted correctly And
Oh
properly.
yeah, that's
Properly is a better word. I think
yeah.
I would think also that Silas is actually one of the coolest champion designs in the game. He changes like especially when you're playing draft. The moment Silas gets drafted, it changes your
It
draft
changes
because
the
now
draft.
you're
It's so
literally like
crazy.
I am not like if you're playing characters
Malphite.
where yeah, Malphite is an easy one. Alistar is another one, which is an easy one.
Yeah.
But you also have like some characters like Pike and shit, where it's like this character is 90% about the ultimate, and now you're giving that ultimate to a character who also has a proper good kit. Is that what you want to
Yeah.
do? And then there's some shit like, okay, give it Twitch ultimate. Now
Which
Silas
sucks.
gets 40, 80. The range doesn't even work. And it's like, okay.
If the range worked, that would be kind of cool. But yeah.
But there is the but.
See,
If it was budgeted properly. But I fucking hate Silas because he on most of the game a 4-second cooldown. He has a heal yourself for 70% damage and deal half the opponent's HP as damage on opponent click ability. And it feels so fucking bad because nothing you do ever matters because this guy's W is an ability. Like,
my least favorite part about this is they balanced the character for like a few patches while I was still playing in like 2020, where they shifted a lot of power to his E and to his Q and to his passive. And then, towards the end of
Yep.
me playing, they were like, what if we just took all the damage and put them in W? And everyone was like, what the fuck do you mean?
yeah.
And suddenly Silence went from a character that people liked playing and playing against to being a character that honestly probably should not exist in his current form.
Yeah.
Like at all.
And
It's so sad.
I think this is the first time when it's literally been on the opposite side. Honestly, I think we can bump it up here, but that's the highest I'm willing to go because I genuinely like we were talking about like earlier. Like if there's 6 characters in the game that like you get to remove, like Silas is like number 6 or number 7 for me on the list. I fucking hate the character. And a part of it is just because like it was so close to being such a cool concept, but like the way Riot's balancing has gone about it ruins everything for me.
The saddest part is that they almost achieved it and they failed.
Yeah, they had something beautiful going. They were like, actually, let's just fuck it all up. And like, well, you had a perfectly good cake. Why did you take a shit on it, bro? Why?
Unfortunate. I think Silas is a unique enough case where he can definitely go to a state to the same tier as Saint.
Yeah. Sandra?
This character is bugged.
How so?
This character is bugged and has been bugged ever since
Oh yeah, you're
EQ
meaning
has existed.
EQ. Yeah. And
they just went like, yeah, that's normal.
Yeah. We're talking
Intended
about
behavior.
like evergreen characters. This is another evergreen character, but this is an evergreen character that I fucking hate. Also, did you know that her ultimate executes these days?
Oh yes, of course. The ability that does 1,000 damage.
Everything needs an execute. Oh,
I hate this character. Fuck that. Nope.
Honestly?
Honestly,
I'm down
yeah.
with that.
Hell yeah.
And,
Fuck this character.
How do you feel about
Tom
Tom Kench?
Tommy, my favorite Louisianian snake oil salesman. He's a good guy. I like him a lot. He's very cool. Except for the part where he plays top lane.
Yeah,
Where's he my lane?
I was literally gonna say like I had no issues with Tom Kench. I was like, oh, that like basically what's the I forgot his name in English. Mustapekka.
Black.
Is it Black Pete?
It's Pete.
Is it?
Pete, yeah.
Is it? It is Black Pete.
Pretty sure
Okay.
it's Pete. It's just
Black
Pete.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, like I was like, oh, it's a like fun-looking fish. It's basically just Black Pete, like, and protects it, like is all about like protecting your carry and like traversing the map. Oh, that's cool. And then the change to the ultimate happened, and now the Toad was in top lane. And when I was talking about like people who play range top laners don't have rights. Bro,
Fuck this character.
Tom Kench, you were saying like when you play top lane, you're banning Ilaoi. When I play top lane, it's the fucking fish. Bench the Kench, load the Toad. I do not want to see it. Like,
there was a time when I banned Tom Kench instead of Ilaoi, but that was before the ult got reworked. That was when he had eat on his like W still.
Oh, yeah.
Because there were certain matchups where it was just an instant loss if my opponent picked Tom Kench and my jungler didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't fight him. He would just auto me to fucking death while I tried to poke him, and then he just stuns me, eats me, and spits me out, and I took 30% of my HP, and he's just sitting there like, I'm gonna regen all this shield.
Yep.
And I can't do anything.
Would you be okay with this?
Yeah, I think that's fine. Even though I think his visuals, his theming and everything, he's cool.
Really cool character, but the gameplay
Like the
experience
banjo
is miserable.
His login theme, oh my god.
Oh yeah, that shit went so hard.
So good.
Talia?
Talia is cool.
Okay. Talon?
I don't have any strong feelings.
69% off First Bloods or something. Tarek?
Yeah, Tarek. He's honestly one of my favorite supports to play.
I'll give it up. Like, here probably fine. Like, I think also like Tarek's, as much as like I think the rework was very successful. I just found old Tarek ult so fucking funny, where it's like, okay, it gives buffs to you and people around you, but 9 out of 10 times it's like, oh, you killed my carry, fuck this shit. He basically like just destroys something and then just goes fucking ape mode and just beats the fuck out of the other laners like 1v2, and that was funny, but conceptually cool character. Timo.
I'm gonna be honest. I like Timo a lot.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, Timo he's iconic. Is. Yeah, I would say Timo is probably the only range top laner. Well, if you argue that Ryze is a range top laner, I play Ryze top lane sometimes as well. Mostly top lane because I never get to play mid lane, but still. I think fair. Timo is one of those characters where he doesn't exactly teach you anything, but you can really learn to appreciate your mushrooms popping, giving you vision, like you getting information. Like using Timo to gather information and using his shrooms to gather and wards to gather information is really satisfying. I think his role as a scout is kind of well executed.
Yeah, I would agree. And if Blind wasn't so obnoxious, I would probably almost be willing to go up there, but Blind is so obnoxious when you're playing some character. I mean, Yasuo doesn't have a bad matchup because you only you just W the Q, and then it's like, all right, your opponent does not actually have an ability with their character, and it's just like, it's the freest shit ever. Yeah. But there are so many character ways, so annoying. Some characters even like Graves, like it's extra annoying because you can see your character shooting the other way. It's like, brother. But also he probably deserves it because of smoke screen.
Yeah.
Anyways, would you have a guess where I'm throwing in trash?
I think go.
Yeah, I mean,
I think go.
Is there a more iconic support in this game than trash?
No.
Yeah.
The only support play that has been named after a player is named after that player hooking another player by preemptively hooking towards the spot they were going to blink to.
Yeah.
That is the only support play that has been named after anyone. And that was done on Thresh.
You can do so many things on Thresh. And conceptually, very cool character, I think.
Very.
And yeah, it just... Thresh is another one of those characters which is like... It only speaks. That's also why I have such a grudge with Nautilus, because Thresh is so insanely complex that even like when people are on the highest level, when you and your team composition wants a tank that can start fights with a hook. In any other scenario, when you think like, okay, you're comparing something else like this at the highest level, like, okay, it's obvious. It's not Thresh, it's Nautilus, just because like you can do almost the same stuff in most cases, and the things that Thresh can do like don't come up as often and are as needed as just the raw effectiveness of me click this. Okay, there we go. Now the role is filled, because the same role what Thresh does is filled with Nautilus. Thresh can just also do so many more things, but if you're picking a character like that, you're at the highest level, you're picking them for that role, and unfortunately that ends up being Nautilus, because he just does it with so little effort. And a little counterplay as well, which is there the bigger thing. But very cool. Anyways,
I agree.
3 more rows and then 2 characters. Tristana.
Oh boy, Tristana, whatever.
Yep. Trundle.
Trundle, whatever.
Trinda.
Kinda whatever. I played him at one point, but he's not that impressive.
Twisted Fate.
No hard feelings. I think Twisted Fate is really cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I think Twisted Fate gets a little bit more. You're obviously talking about him like when we were talking about Annie also, but I just think like Twisted Fate is just, there is like nothing that's like mechanically demanding about it, but it's everything else about it. Plus stylistically, I think he's very neat. So
I wholeheartedly agree.
yep.
I'll delete this character.
Awesome. Still on the same page. Yeah, I fucking hate Twitch. And you know, when we were earlier talking about like how I reminisce about Rengar.
Yeah.
What is his
Imagine
character?
if that character was able to also team fight and kill an entire team almost alone.
And why does my character have this character's ultimate? This character's Q as an ultimate, but Twitch's Q is just a strictly better version, because it's the exact same fucking thing, but also gives attack speed. The only thing why Rengar's ultimate function with Rengar is the passive, but literally if you just look at the ultimate, it just Twitch's Q, but you don't get the attack speed.
Yeah.
And in general,
it's not fair.
I do not like I've had my fair share. Honestly, like Tristana could be like here for me. I do not like resets on these hyper carries. I think Samira isn't as bad because like she's a lot shorter range, whereas these two are shooting you from 8.5 miles away, and Tristana has a dash, and Twitch has really long form stealth. Sorry, camouflage, but still like invisibility of a degree. And it doesn't help that a lot of Twitch players are just actual fucking degenerates that say the most heinous shit.
Yeah. It's pretty fucking bad.
Yeah. The gates.
The gates. I think it's cool, but that's about it. Yeah. I honestly think I prefer the old version, but I think it's good.
That's fair. Urgot,
I don't really like at all. He doesn't instill any kind of feelings in me outside of just like
fair enough. Varus,
I like the Q a lot. Like it's neat, but nah.
Little Varus's needs, is it enough to bump him up from here?
I think he's okay.
Yeah,
he's fine.
Vayne?
Vayne? I mean, one of the most iconic ADCs in the entire game. I hate playing against this character. This is one of the most frustrating top laners to play against.
Yep.
So
everything was fine until they fucking let her go top lane, bro.
Yep. It was cool and all, but now it's like, please don't ever show up in a video game. Never. Veigar? Honestly, I think Veigar is kind of similar to Annie in the regard where he's a training wheels character.
Yeah.
You play him to learn to CS more.
Yeah.
As well. But with skill shots this time.
It is crazy to think how good Veigar E is, and for how long it was instant and nobody was paying attention to this character. Like, what baffles me is that how nobody thought to play Veigar support for so long.
Yep. I mean, a lot of characters didn't get played in their roles, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, even Riot didn't have idea on some characters initially. I mean, Thresh was designed to be a top laner, and now when you look at the kit, it's like,
what the
which
fuck
part
mean?
of this character? The flame passive?
Nautilus was like was played top lane and jungle for a really long time.
I played AP Nautilus for such a long time. Actually, I had
Oh,
a season where my three most played junglers were AP Malphite, AP Naut, and Gragas.
so
But what
dudes.
about Vel'Koz? I think Vel'Koz is very neat.
I do agree. I think Vel'Koz is a cool character.
He's
I think
I think he's
these
like
little tentacle things are neat.
yeah, I think like conceptually pretty neat, and I think like he's up there when it comes to like artillery mages. Starting to lose my voice, but luckily we're almost done here. Vex,
Um, she's just like me for real, bro.
God, I wish I was dead. Why from Arcane?
Why? Violet from Arcane? I think she's kind of whatever.
Yeah,
I think she doesn't instill any kind of feeling when playing her.
that's
Her
fair.
ult is kind of bland, and her
I
Q is
I
whatever.
like her, but like I don't think it's like strong enough feelings to bump her up. Like I personally like playing her, but Viego, you had a lot to say about Silas because you have access to every ultimate in the game. What about Viego? Now it's every character in the game except for the
It's a
ultimates.
mistake. It's a mistake. It's a whole mistake, like an entire mistake that they made.
It's
Like there is nothing about the concept of having a character who can become another character for free after killing them and also heal. That is a good idea. And also gain access to their own ultimate before level 6. Everything about Viego made me question why they thought this was a good idea. Nowadays he doesn't heal at all basically when he swaps bodies, but before when he practically fully healed after getting a new body, what the fuck was that about? And you got to use an ultimate ability at level 2 to slow people? Like level 1 if you happen to fight Viego and his goons, he probably killed your whole team if he got one kill.
yep.
So,
And
kind of
you
toxic.
would put Viego where?
I think I would rather have him gone
That's so
than anything
funny
else.
that it's literally Silas is just the ultimate vehicles, everything but the ultimates, and those are literally reversed for us. I think like
Yeah.
for if it was my personal list, Virgo would literally be in goats because I think Virgo, unlike Silas, doesn't have an ability which is like okay, it's insane for the power budget. I actually think like in general, Virgo is pretty undertuned, which makes sense, obviously, because of the passive. It's like revolves around the passive, and passive is really hard to balance. So
Yeah.
I guess it makes more sense to have him be underpowered. But I mean, just conceptually, like just having the Ruined King finally in the game, like I think that was very neat. And I will say it does also help that the Q ability is a very short range or a short range skill shot that stabs with his sword and is on a low cooldown. Gee, I wonder who else has that.
Don't think about it. But I have to point out,
Hmm?
I don't like the fact that he's the Ruined King.
Oh, you don't?
I think he doesn't do justice to the Ruined King.
I kind of think he does with the like the whole passive, but I
I
mean,
think
very
because like the main
slightly
reason why he
worse.
doesn't do justice in my mind is because when you think about all the other like kings and whatnot in different regions, you're like, wow, these people are fucking badasses. Holy shit. And then you're like, then there's the ruined king with a sword that these badasses use to fight each other. I wonder how badass of a badass like the ruined king is gonna be. Holy shit, he's gonna be such a bamf. And then he's a fucking twink. What the fuck did you think was gonna happen, Ryan? Like, I would rather have Set be the Ruined King than fucking Viego. Holy fuck. Fuck off with that shit. Be gone.
Stop this Twink
Cringe ass.
Eraser. Anyways, shout out Mr. Skull. Moving right along. What about Victor? Oh yeah, I haven't updated
Speaking
actually
of.
the. I haven't updated Victor from Arcane to be here, so we'll consider this Victor from Arcane.
So, you know what I just said?
Yep.
Okay. Now you have a character who's grimy, greasy, disgusting, but he's chasing after what he believes is the glorious evolution, which is machinery. I am going to become a machine at all costs. I'm going to make others into machines at all costs. They're going to be grimy, they're going to be dirty, but they're going to be machines. Turn into, oh, I am now a porcelain little boy. I'm a little boy with a deadly disease. Ooh, I'm going to die.
Whoa,
Now I'm
whoa,
made
whoa,
of
whoa,
metal.
whoa, whoa, whoa. That's another timestamp.
What do you mean?
No, it's fine.
Arcane Season 1, bro.
Yeah, I know, but some people haven't seen it.
Fuck you people if you haven't seen Arcane Season.
If you haven't seen and got spoiled by that, go over to twitch.tv/Jeexx and tell them that happened.
Hell yeah.
And
But
report the stream.
I don't like the new Victor. I think the new Victor is I hate the direction for it.
Fair. What about the gameplay wise?
I think Victor is a really good, solid character gameplay wise. I don't know if they changed anything about his gameplay. I just don't like the design and the lore.
It's basically like the gameplay remained the same. It's just like the ultimate now. When you get a takedown, it gets bigger and lasts for longer. That's it. But apart from that, that's it. But yeah, shout out Dr. Nefarious from Ratchet and Clank, because that's literally what old Victor was.
Yeah.
Like literally just want to turn everything into machines. What about?
I mean, technically that was Dr. Robotnik, but let's just ignore that part.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played any Mega Man games in my life, so yeah.
That's Sonic.
Dr.
Robotnik is Eggman.
Actually, no, I have played Sonic Heroes and Final Fantasy Sonic in Pelikone.fi. So, my Sonic game knowledge is very immaculate.
I haven't played Mega Man.
I mean, it's the statement is still not wrong.
It's not wrong.
I just wanted to put it out there.
Yeah. We gotta.
Yeah.
Vladimir, I think Vlad is kind of cool, except for the part where the new Arcane design or the new Noxus design doesn't look good. I fucking hate that look.
Yeah, I think he's a piece of shit, so he can go there.
Yeah.
Well,
I think his Q stack thing is neat. That's it.
Fair enough.
I think the fact that his
I liked him when
gameplay
Will of the Ancients was in the game, and after that he became a piece of shit when they reworked him. Yeah. So, yeah. Shout out all types of blood.
Volibear is kind of cool. Volibear is kind of I don't think Omeraker is very, very good, though.
I was talking about top 3 reworks of all time, saying Poppy was 3 and Sai was number 2. Sorry, Sai was number 1. I think this is number
Warwick
2
is
just because conceptually, because Fiddlesticks and Warwick kind of had the same like conceptual treatment where they were kind of goofy before, and now they made them actually feel menacing. But whereas I think Fiddlesticks is a piece of shit character, I think Warwick is fine. Although the people who are playing Barrier Warwick top lane, once again, just like Ignite Vanguard top lane plays, you are bad people.
Or Tom Kench.
Yeah, I mean, those people should be... Let me not finish that sentence, actually. But
don't finish
I think...
Warwick is good. Warwick is great.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Honestly,
I think it's one of the best.
We can throw him next to Cyan. I think it's only fitting there.
I think that's fair. Yeah, I think it's fair.
The Monkey
Wukong. So Wukong is a mini rework, and I think his mini rework is probably the best mini rework they ever did.
Yep. But also,
which is just...
Is it enough to push him? I guess, like, for me, he would still be here.
No.
Yeah, I think
he's okay.
It's not interesting enough. Zaya?
In comparison to Rakan, I think Zaya doesn't do anything interesting. Which is, like, kind of sad.
That is
She's just
fair.
a wave-clearing ADC.
But also, she's the hottest character in the game, so I'll bump it up to good.
What the? Have you seen her feet? Bro,
I'm considering my comments now, and I will commit. Bro, with a face like that, I don't care what her feet look like. Xerath.
I don't give a fuck about that. I think he's fucking bland as hell.
Xin
Zhao? I don't like Xin Zhao.
Awesome, we can throw something in there. Well,
just put both of these in gold.
How do you feel about Yasuo?
Just put both of them in gold. Yasuo is another character that I have played a lot, and I think he is visually and design-wise very cool. But the problem with Yasuo and Yone both is the fact that one of them happens to be objectively better than the other, and the one that is cooler happens to not be the one that's better.
Yeah, it happens when you know, put a lot of a character's power into an ability that doesn't do anything against like 60% of the cast that
Yep.
and replace it with the other person, replace it with a sustain ability that does also AoE damage and it does also help that, you know, you don't need to knock up your opponent to use your ultimate ability, and also that you have Z Deathmark as your basic
Okay.
ability. But besides those
Oh, it's even
points,
better than Deathmark, because Deathmark is physical damage.
yeah, there's true damage.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's quite silly. But yeah, I
Yippee!
mean, I don't need to probably talk about Yasuo and Yone. Yasuo is my favorite character in League of all time. I think like no matter how long of a break I take from League at this point, like I'll still have my key plays and win plays down just because I played this character so much, and I think his skill ceiling is infinite essentially, and he's one of the coolest characters in the game, and probably the only character where I never get frustrated playing against it because it's literally win-win situation. Either I win because you're playing Yasuo and you need to put so much effort in to win, or I lose and I walk out of that learning something new because I, you know, there's always room for improvement. Yone, same thing. Yasuo is just cooler because there's so much more tech you can do, but Yone is still very cool, obviously. A poop soaring guy.
Fuck that guy.
Oh, you don't like him like at all? I was gonna just put him here, but
Fuck that guy. He's mesh. Can you delete the next character just like instantly? Just like ignore, or I can just delete the next character.
you know what's funny? For
What's up?
such a long time, I would have been in that same train with you. These days, if I'm queuing up for a game of ARAM, there is one character above every other character that I'm literally like the happiest to see in ARAM. You want to guess what that character is?
Yumi.
This is where I put like a LeBron James edit or something like that, and it's like no, but yes, it's Yumi. I sit in some other dude who's just minding their own business. I build full AP and I'm just launching missiles that I can, like literally heat-seeking missiles I can guide to their position every 4 seconds that deal like 700 damage. And it's bliss. But also, I think she's a conceptual mistake, and
Yep.
the
Design
when she came out and there were people saying this character is gonna be bad, are we playing the same video game when an enchanter, which by the way, like when they're enchanters, if there's one class that you always just explode first in a fight, it's enchanters because they constantly buff their teammates, but they also a big part of their like design philosophy, I guess, is that they need to be like not very mobile, or in cases of something like Rakan, very mobile, but obviously the enchanting capabilities are a lot less so. But something like Lulu, Sona, Soraka, if they stay alive, like they get insane value. But if one person decides they don't stay alive, in some cases a couple, then they will not live. And suddenly we do this, but also passively the character gives constant stats to whoever they're attached to, and you literally cannot interact with them until the host is dead. I don't know how there were people who like saw the concept and were like, this is conceptually the most broken character design in the history of this game, and that still remains true. Release Yumi is conceptually and also like ended up also being the case the most broken character ever in League history, because you literally cannot, the priority target in the opponent's team is something that literally you have to kill last because of how the champion works, which is insane. There is nothing you can do, and that is such an insane statement to say. So yeah, it's fair. What about Zach?
I think Zach is solid.
Fair enough.
He's
What
okay.
about Zed?
He's whatever. I have no strong feelings about Zed in this day and age.
I used to like Zed a lot back when Bilgewater Cutlass and Bork were core components that so you were struggling to get stuff into your ultimate and you actually had to do combos to do damage with the ultimate. These days, you press RE and auto attack, and if you have 2 items, you kill anything that's not a tank. They've made this character so boring. He used to be one of the coolest characters in the game, and now it's me.
Faker, what? Me.
What about Fortnite? Do you like Fortnite, Jeexx? Do you like Jeexx?
Jeexx is cool.
Zillion?
Zillion is cool.
Bro, my goat Zillion. Okay, well, I don't think it's strong enough, but I quite like Zillion. What I don't like, though, is this piece of shit.
Fuck that character. Just eat that into nothingness. Just delete. Gone.
Bye-bye. What about Zyra?
Zyra's very whatever. Fucking Bulbasaur looking
Feet? Do you like feet, Jeexx?
I don't even know who this character is.
Okay, but do you like feet? Answer the question.
Who is this character?
This character is Toes, the character. It's a bloodthirsty vampire that like loses control and also has nice feet.
No, like
It's Briar.
I was gonna say Bramble.
You got the start right, but yeah, it's Briar.
Okay, I don't know anything about this character. I have no strong feelings about this character whatsoever.
Jeexx has not seen any media containing Briar whatsoever.
I have never seen this character. What?
Artist has a bunch of abilities.
I mean, he's a Pictomancer, so he's obviously broken.
Yep. Shout out Picto chat. We can throw him in good, I guess. Smolder?
Yeah.
All right. What about Cassandra
Grandma?
number 2?
I think Grandma has a cool passive with the thing where she just like zips around every time she gases in a building.
Grandma go. Camera go next to Bob Ross. Pet ultimate character Aurora.
Cool morass character. This character's broken, right? This Skarner character?
I don't think he's crazy anymore. He's still very good. I don't think he's like... Because there was a time when he was like crazy broken. But honestly, as a rework, I think good rework.
So far, I haven't seen anything.
They kept the like ultimate, which was the stuff that made him interesting. They changed some things around. And I think overall, like, balance aside, I think a good rework overall. Is it good enough to put him in good? I mean, old Skarner was so bland, so I guess that's fine. Also, I'm realizing now that I didn't even use my veto, but overall, I think this list is solid. Yeah,
I agree. Yeah.
There's so there that
I mean, it's the average tier, even though it's way more than. I mean, I guess if we. There's way too many. Way too many.
Yeah, 10. It's 50. 72 characters here out of 165. So.
That's a little under half.
Yeah, it's literally a little under half, but still a lot. But like,
yeah.
I'm happy about like this piece of shit tier that came along.
We pretty much agreed on everything there, except for
yeah, literally like
extra Viego.
Even like overall, like a lot of like similar ideas and stuff like, and Viego and Silas were just like the two things that were different. And I guess like for like Ilawe, I actually quite like Ilawe, and she would have been like for me like probably here, and you put her in delete, so I guess that's another one. But like 165 characters, 3.
I mean, like honestly, we can just ignore the veto that I made. You can just put her there because I think that makes more sense because you didn't use yours. We can even it out. We can put Ilawe in goods.
Sure.
I think that's fair. She's in delete, right?
Oh yeah, true. So let me drag her as. Where would I be? There we go.
Hell
I always wonder. Okay, final thing. This has been a long one, and you have your rage, so we're gonna get out of here.
yeah, in like 4 minutes.
Yeah, literally. I won't keep you like literally 30 seconds. Like I don't know how. When you think of like alphabet, do you just know like what is where? Because I don't know if I
No.
ever like properly learned. Like every time I think of something with to do with alphabet, like I always have to go in my head like A B C D F G. And I wonder like is it the same for other people? Because I don't.
There's a few specific ones that I always know which order they are in, like HIJ and LMN, for example. It's HIJK LMN. And XYZ is one that sometimes throws me off because XYZ in like it's VXYZ, and in Finnish I think it's VWXYZ. It's really weird.
Yeah, because
But like there's a few things like that.
yeah, for me it's literally it's A B C D, it's M N O, and it's X Y Z. Everything else like I just need to go through the whole thing. So that's
To know which one, which one corresponds to which number, I always have to go like A, B, C.
oh
D,
yeah. I
G.
mean I think that makes sense. But yeah, this is gonna end up being over 3 hours. I'm thinking. Well, we'll figure out if I upload.
Oh no,
this
not another one.
one because I did not expect that because I was like, okay, there's gonna be a lot of these champions, but like if we use maybe like
Honestly,
10 seconds on one, so
if we had just done Smash or Pass, I think this would be way faster.
that is true. But
And
actually,
I think that
we
would
would
be
have.
funnier.
I think there we also would have had way more arguments other than Braun being like at the top of the list. So, but
Brom is in his own.
yeah, actually, but I mean, honestly, I think for mine, like probably the information is out there. I mean, it would be outdated at this point, but that is neither here nor there. What's here and there is that we thank you so very much for watching. I'll figure out whether I upload this separately or not, because it would. It's always feel weird if, like, from a Yu-Gi-Oh episode, there's more the other thing that there is Yu-Gi-Oh, but sometimes I guess it's fine. But we'll figure that out. And whenever
It's okay.
you
I'll
see
make a really
this-
long breakdown, so it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
yeah, whenever you see this, then you'll know. But thank you so very much for watching, and we'll catch you next time / next week, depending on if this is on the Yu-Gi-Oh episode or something else. So good luck to Jeexx in his raid, and y'all have a good one, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.